Good afternoon. We'll get started in just a little bit here. Just want to say hey and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Hang tight. We're giving people a chance to join us, get their computers set up, their audio, video going, but we will get started here shortly. So thanks and hang on there. Good afternoon. It's about that time, so I think we'll get started here. Again, thanks for taking the time this afternoon to join us. We are really excited to share NetGiver with you and excited to get your thoughts, feedback, and see how it will fit well into your credit union's initiatives and your credit union community engagement. Just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. You should be able to hear us right now, hear me right now. See a screen with a blue screen with the NetGiver logo on it. It says, please turn your volume on now. So I hope that you can all hear me. A couple of other items, just on the right-hand side of the screen is a chat window. Please do make use of that. Send your questions, comments, thoughts to us. We will make sure to address them as we're going through, as well as take some time for them at the end. We want to make sure to address your questions, and anything that we can't get to in this half hour, we want to make sure we're considerate of your time. We'll be sure to follow up with afterwards and take it offline. So please send questions through. There's a window on the right-hand side. Send us your messages and we will answer them and follow up actually afterwards. So with those things out of the way, again, thanks for joining us. I'm Miriam. This is Jonah.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And we're here to talk about NetGiver, the donation platform for credit unions. So today we're going to talk about solving two problems with one application. First, you as a credit union are looking to grow always, to increase your membership, your deposits, your revenue. Current credit union member assets make up less than 10% of the banking industry. So as we know, banks currently own the market. And you, credit unions, we're always looking for better ways of telling prospective members what makes you different from a bank. And so the goal of this is obvious. We want to turn bank customers, into credit union members.
And the second problem that we're trying to solve is, first off, we know that 80% of charitable giving is done by individuals, and that's being done with a debit or credit card. And so with giving in the US being a $435 billion per year industry, that's $435 billion given every year. Of that, $287 billion is being given by individuals.
So that's $287 billion, not grants and foundations, individual giving. That's a big
huge number, yeah. But what we're running into is the fact that credit card fees and platform fees are starting to add up. And in some cases, more than 7% of those donations are going towards processing and platform fees. And so platform fees are the costs that are associated with the services that nonprofits subscribe to in order to be able to process those payments. And we talked about it being 7%. We just recently talked to an organization that said they were paying fees as high as 20% of the donation they were receiving.
Woo. So NetGiver is a product and a service that credit unions provide to your members. The product supports members' giving, and the service is marketed to members and potential members to showcase in a really tangible way that difference between what a credit union offers and other financial institutions. It's the first of its kind, as we said, exclusively for credit unions, giving to charity 100%, so not passing on any credit card or platform fees to the charities that you support.
And so what we've got coming up here next is a video that's just going to show how powerful 7% is for nonprofits. And so we hope you love this video. We always have fun watching it too.
Hi, I'm Taylor. Today we're going to play with some puppies and learn how NetGiver is helping a local charity provide more services for puppy adoption. Let's go play.
Hi, I'm Camille. I work with Midwest Animal Rescue and Services, aka MARS. We are an animal rescue that also offers community services. We believe that there are two ends to the leash, so in order to take care of the pet, you have to take care of the parent as well. We started in 2006 and have saved over 18,000 animals since then, with a 99% adoption success rate. So once they go home, they stay home.
So I know your organization primarily gets a lot of their money through donations.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, what difference would that 7% make?
7% would make a huge difference. If we raise $100,000, that's $7,000 extra that we can use towards our mission in saving homeless animals. That's $7,000. If you divide that by $20, the price of a microchip, that's 350 animals that would always have a road back home and would never be homeless again. So that makes a huge difference. That $7,000, if you divide that by 75, about the average cost for us to spay or neuter a pet, that is almost 100 animals that would be spayed or neutered.
I'm using NetGiver to make my donation now. Just a quick search to find Midwest Animal Rescue. There it is. Tap on their name and their listing comes up. Make sure it's the right one. It is. And now I can enter my donation. How about 50 bucks? And hit give. And then confirm my donation. Wonderful.
Donating using NetGiver makes a significant difference to our nonprofit.
I could play with puppies all day.
Just want to go and play with the puppies right now, but it's such a fun video. It shares, again, it just shows the simpleness that 7% can make, and it doesn't take extraordinary effort. It's just being able to do what you're already doing, but again, having 100% of that donation go to the charity that's important to you.
So it's, as a credit union, empowering your membership to give in that full and complete way. So whether your credit union is looking to grow, differentiate yourself, or provide members with new, better products and services, NetGiver is helping you to stay competitive in this financial landscape.
And when your members and non-members, for that matter, are able to give to charity, their full donation isn't reaching that intended purpose. And so we can solve the first problem of adding new members by solving the second problem, and in turn, showcasing that CU difference.
We're hearing a lot of those 7% stories, and whether it is 7% or, as I've heard from some organizations, as Jonah said, 15 or 20%, or even just 3% credit card fees, this really is a price that adds up for nonprofits, and being able to support them in a new and unprecedented way, especially during this time, it just supports your community in a stronger, really great storytelling kind of way. Huge marketing opportunity for credit unions. So let's look at how this works. So we talked to donors of nonprofits, people who already are engaged in their giving. And 92% of those we talked to would consider using an app for giving if it meant 0 fees were taken from their donation. Well, of those that we were talking to, only 74% were aware that there were fees associated with credit card platform fees the charitable donations are made through. So we see this as an opportunity to reach those 74% and engage with them and say, you're aware of these fees, you know that there's an impact on the causes you support. We're here to help step in and take care of that and get rid of those fees altogether. And for that 26%, that isn't yet aware, this is part of their financial literacy, helping people understand where the money goes, what happens in the process, and what that impact is of that 7%. As Jonah said, it's a $286 billion a year industry that's individual giving. So tapping into that, we talked to these donors, and of the donors we talked to, 38% of non-credit union members said they would consider opening a credit union account to use NetGiver to make donations. We think that speaks for itself.
And to talk to that 7% of the $286 billion, that's $11.8 billion being lost in donations every year because of these fees. It's a huge, significant issue that we hope to be able to solve with NetGiver.
So let's take a look at some science. So research shows that every decision a consumer makes is an emotional decision. So we've read studies, and researchers have done studies where they take scans of the brain showing that the limbic system in the brain lights up on MRIs when someone spends money. So that feeling when you go out to pick yourself up and buy a new pair of shoes or an ice cream cone, that's high in the dopamine. That's that feel-good signal running through the brain.
Yep. And what's even cooler with that is that the research also shows that when a person donates to charity, the brain lights up even brighter than it does for those feel-good moments in your life. And so what does that mean ultimately? It means that when a member uses NetGiver, they associate that feel-good with the credit union who is providing that experience. And by supporting a member's most emotional giving decisions, credit unions in turn are able to attract and retain loyal members.
So we're going to put this into the real world example now. So Jonah, think back to the last time you ordered something online, right? You get that confirmation email when it's delivered. Remember that little bit of excitement you felt when the email came through?
I do, actually. It just happened recently.
So now then, think about the last time you got your bank statement email. No shot of dopamine there. 71% of Americans view their financial institution relationship as purely transactional. So we're changing that transactional relationship into a feel-good connection to their financial institution, to their credit union. So let's put some excitement and dopamine into our members' lives. Let's take a look at the whole program.
Yeah, so it starts with you, the credit union. It's an ability to be different from big banks, doing what you already do in terms of having that community focus, but showing your members that you care. So not only telling them, but the ability to actually show them how much they mean to you, in turn by supporting them and their community give back. And so they market to existing and potential members, allowing you to increase your membership, your deposit accounts, and ultimately your assets.
So then from the member perspective, they're supported in their values and the things that they care about, because they download the app with your credit union branding, your credit union support. They donate. They see in action, your credit union supporting them in what they care about. And so they then talk about it to their peers, to their nonprofits, and continue that credit union difference and encourage others to join the credit union.
And the third part of this, the nonprofits, I think it's very, especially at this time and moment where we are, that they need our help. And so I'm sure for you as a credit union, your phone's ringing every day with requests from local organizations who are looking for any kind of help that you can provide. And so with NetGiver, they're able to, one, receive the full donation. It allows them access to be able to grow their members and in turn promote what you're doing for them, helping to create that cyclical effect.
It's a win-win-win for everybody.
It really is.
It's about staying top of mind. A question came in. I do think this is a good time to address it. How do I know if my nonprofit is in the app?
Yeah, great question.
So that's a great question. And your nonprofit could mean a lot of things here. The nonprofits that your credit union supports, you as an individual support. We use the full IRS database of 501c3 organizations. So all 1.3 million nonprofit 501c3s in the country are already in the app. So let's look at this. Why is this opportunity only available for credit unions? Well, we were started by and for credit unions to showcase that credit union difference and the credit union ethos of people helping people. So when we hear credit unions talking about what they are and how what they offer to non-members, so much of what we hear is we've got all the same products and services as a bank. But that line is uninspiring.
Yeah, and so really what we want to do is bring that credit union difference to the forefront, the brand promise that we as people are going to help others who need our help. And really, that's why your members are at your credit union, and that's what gets them inspired and excited to be a member.
So how do we do this? Again, we solve this by giving them an app, and we help you as a credit union deliver this app in a successful way to your membership. Every credit union, you have your own look and feel. You have your own branding for your credit union. So we take your colors, your logo, and we put them into our very clean interface. It's a simple user experience. As you saw in the video, it takes under a minute to make a donation, but this is a user-centric app that carries your branding from start to finish. You're always part of the experience.
And the second point to this is the ability for the turnkey marketing and to be able to tell that story. And so what we've done is we've created materials for you that you can use and customize to make it your own. All depends on what you want to do. At the end of the day, every credit union is at a different level in terms of the resources they have for that storytelling. So we want to do our absolute best to meet you where you are, provide those resources, and go out and tell that incredible story to your community.
You're already telling great stories within your community, right? You support as an organization, maybe 5, 7 nonprofits that you get behind as an organization. But what we see is that at the end of the day, your resources are limited. Your volunteer hours are limited. Your financial resources are limited. So what we think of as NetGiver is that instead of just supporting a few lucky organizations, we're able to flip the model on its head.
And so by doing this, your members are allowed to give to any organization that's meaningful for them. And what that allows for you as a credit union to do is multiply your community impact in an unprecedented way. And I think we all know that everyone has a different idea of the things that they want to support. Not everyone has to agree with the organization you support, because instead of supporting or not supporting any one organization, you as an institution having those limited numbers, your members are allowed to support any organization that is meaningful to them.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the nitty-gritty here. Although I do want to mention, I'm seeing some great questions come in. Again, we will address them as we come to them, as well as at the end. And anything we don't have time for, we'll certainly follow up with you after. So please keep sending them in. So NetGiver is a registered CUSO. exclusive for credit unions. Again, we're here to serve credit unions and only credit unions, and we put your security first. This is all about keeping your members, your member data safe, sound, and secure. We use the NACHA platform, so we're NACHA compliant when making the transactions, and we use trusted names in security that already you are using. We've completed with Wipfli our SOC 2 Type 1 audit. So again, security is really front of mind in everything that we do.
And so what we've got here is a graph and really just kind of showing the consumer trends over the last couple of years, and that trend being the importance of the companies that consumers are supporting and those company values being presented. So with me as a consumer, I want to shop with companies who are representing the values that I hold.
Now, Jonah's a millennial, so he does represent that 70% who are actively seeking companies that align with their values. But what surprised me is that across every generation, people are becoming more and more aware of the values that drive companies.
I think it's only becoming a bigger and bigger topic and more prevalent every day.
We see a lot about cause-based marketing. This is a great opportunity for credit unions to get behind organizations and tell their members that they align with their own values.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a quick review of what we've talked about so far. Members feel supported. They feel supported emotionally in their giving by technology that is safe and sound and secure and easy. Members feel connected to their community and supported by their credit union in their values and in their community.
And so if you take a quick little look at the screenshot that's on there of our app, you'll see that that's one of the really neat features that's available to your members. So at the end of the year or at any point during the course of the year, they're able to go in and they have a full list organized of the donations that they've made to date. And so again, at the end of the year, they're able to go in, click the email PDF history, they receive that, and they can go right to the accountant. It can be a good feel good for them because they can look back and see the impact that they've made throughout the calendar year.
I actually look at that from time to time as I'm, tracking my expenses, and it gives me probably a shot of dopamine to know the kind of impact I've had in my community. Now, my donations may be small, but over time they certainly add up. And that's something important that we should talk about here is as a credit union, you have access to the information about your membership. You have aggregate data about how your membership is giving, how many members are engaging, and to what organizations they're donating. This could be extremely important as you consider your own community impact and how you as an organization want to align with nonprofits in your area. Maybe all of your donors or a good percentage of your donors are animal lovers, and that those are the causes they're getting behind. Maybe that's something you engage in more in depth, or perhaps you want to engage and support and encourage your members to support the local food bank or food shelves. These are new touch points that you can use to engage with your members, and you get that information, not just about your membership, but you can look at all the credit union membership across the platform and see how others are using it and see how other organizations are using and their membership, how they're giving. So this is important information as you develop your marketing, as you develop your member acquisition, which organizations you want to be associated with.
And at a time where being able to showcase that advocacy, what a great opportunity to have another avenue to see that information to complement what you're doing as an institution.
Good point there. So we are coming to the end of the webinar, this demonstration, and I want to remind you one more time that we do have a chat window. So there are a couple questions coming up here. This is a really key point here. Does the app have pop-up ads? I'm going to answer that very point blank. The app does not have any advertising in it. This is about your credit union and how your credit union supports the members. This is offered by your credit union to your membership. So this is about your brand in the app and that relationship you have to your members. Same goes for the data. We do not sell the data. So this is about you, your membership, and keeping you safe and secure. So pricing is tiered based on asset size. We want to make sure this is something that all credit unions are able to offer their membership regardless of asset size. So we tier, and it consists of an onboarding fee, which takes care of the security, the branding, all of the onboarding that we do with you and your organization to help make sure that this is a success for you and your members. And then a monthly subscription fee. That which is also tiered based on asset size. We can onboard an organization. We can get your credit union up in as little as 6 weeks. It's very lightweight integration for your IT team. So welcome them in the conversations, but I think that as the way we've built it, using our third-party partners, we've got great systems set up for security and ease of use. And we can't wait to help you share NetGiver in your local community. Let's look at this in terms of ROI. So the average American donates $52 a month to nonprofit organizations. So if you have 20,000 donors in your credit union, the impact those members are making is $12.5 million a year, except for the fact now that 7% of that on average is lost to fees, credit card fees and platform fees. So the difference with NetGiver, not having any credit card or platform fees associated with those donations, is $873,000 a year. That's $873,000 additional impact directly into your community simply by not allowing those platform fees and credit card fees to detract from a donation.
That alone is probably bigger than most credit unions' yearly budget for being able to give back to the community. So I think that's so powerful.
I see a couple of questions here that are fantastic about do they need to be members to use the app? The easy answer to that question is yes. They do need to be members to use the app. However, I'd like Jonah to specifically follow up with you who have those questions, as there is a feature we are in the process of rolling out to membership. If this is something that's of interest to credit unions. So Jonah will be following up on that. I do see a couple other questions coming in, pricing related. I want to make sure that we get the exact prices to you for your credit union size. So that's something that we'll be following up with afterwards as well on that. So NetGiver solves two problems with one simple, secure, and pretty darn cool app.
It really is. I love it. And at the end of the day, your credit union should be solving these types of problems. So if you're interested in growing your membership, the bonus is that you can do it while supporting your local community organizations. And if you're all about supporting your local organizations, well, with NetGiver, you'll get the benefit of being able to grow your membership too. And again, a pretty darn cool system that we've got here set up. So we do have one more statistic that we want to share with you here at the end. It really is kind of our mic drop. And that is the fact that of those individuals and donors that we spoke to previously, 98% of current credit union members want their credit union to provide NetGiver to the members for their charitable giving.
Just saying. So thank you for joining us today. We will reach out. You will be able to watch this webinar. We are going to take a few minutes now for a couple more questions. I do want to just make sure that we both say thank you genuinely, that this has been a really stressful few months for everyone. And I know that taking the time out can sometimes be difficult, and these never-ending Zoom calls and webinars, but we're looking forward to sharing NetGiver with you and seeing how it can work exactly with your credit union to fit into what you're already doing, augment your message within your community, and support you more deeply. You'll be able to rewatch the webinar. You'll get a link tomorrow. And in the meantime, Jenna, let's take a couple of questions here.
Okay.
Talk to us about, this is a good question, Jonah, for you. I like the focus on philanthropy, but how can I sell this to my team as a valuable tool for the credit union?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it comes back to that idea of storytelling, and ultimately, why do credit unions exist? And that is the advocacy and the community of people helping people. And so being able to utilize this tool to tell that story, we came back and we talked about the win-win-win situation earlier. And that's really what it comes down to, is by telling your story, it engages your members. And through your members telling the story, through the nonprofits that you're supporting, telling that story, it allows for you to both keep the members you have, attract new members, and it's another point of them being able to have a touch point with you as the credit union beyond maybe the loans that they have with you. In order to give, they've got to have a checking account. And so by having that account, it continues to keep them in and continuing to grow with you, and continues to that primary financial institution feel for them.
Absolutely. I have another question here. Can our foundation participate? And it's a great question, because I know a lot of credit unions have your own foundations that are doing great work in your community. Absolutely. If you're a registered 501c3, your foundation can absolutely participate. And one of the nice things that NetGiver offers is the ability to feature or highlight certain nonprofit organizations. So if you want to encourage your members top of mind to donate to your foundation, as well as all the other causes that they support as individuals, absolutely, you can feature your foundation right up front to your membership, and encourage them to donate there. But it doesn't just limit them to a single donation location. It's part of their whole giving picture. Can I integrate this with my current online banking or mobile app? This is a great question.
Yeah. And so simply the answer is it can be done. At the end of the day, there's some opportunities to make that happen. But I think what we want to stress is ultimately what we're trying to do is to make giving easy. And there's no easier way to do that than to be able to go into an app and under a minute give to your favorite organizations. Your checking account is already tied to it, so there's no confusion about where you're at. It's ability to go in, find that, and be out and know that you've done good that day. And so that's why we've set it as a standalone, and really like that that's the way that it is for today.
I think we have time for just one more question. We want to be careful of everyone's time. We work with several nonprofits in our area. How do they use NetGiver? Great question. It takes under 3 to 4 minutes for a nonprofit organization to go and simply claim their account. Let us know where they should receive the money, where it needs to be sent. And they can update their mission statement. They have their own dashboard. Again, all they have to be is a IRS registered 501c3 organization to be able to participate and start receiving donations fee-free from your membership. I do see lots of great questions coming in. Jonah, going to follow up with all of them. Yeah. And so take his call. And it's been a pleasure talking with you all this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I get to reach out to credit unions every day and just talk to them about the stories they're telling. And while we want you to bring NetGiver to your members, please don't stop doing what you're doing to support your community. It's absolutely fantastic. I love what you guys are doing. It inspires me every day to keep us moving, because it is. You guys are just doing great work, and thank you so much for being leaders in that space.
So here are our email addresses. Please feel free to reach out. Again, you will be hearing from Jonah any day now. So look forward to continuing the conversation. And those of you who sent in questions that haven't had them answered directly, we'll make sure to follow up on those. So thank you and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much.